There comes a moment in every person's life when noise no longer feels like progress. You can chase more, speak louder, try harder, but something within you whispers, "Be still." That whisper is not weakness, it is wisdom. It's the voice of the universe gently guiding you toward your own divine rhythm. The truth is, everything you're searching for, peace, clarity, direction, is already waiting for you. It's not out there in the chaos, it's inside, buried beneath layers of distraction. When we step into silence, we step into alignment. Silence is not the absence of sound, it is the presence of everything that truly matters. It is the point where your thoughts settle and your soul begins to speak. In that stillness, you begin to feel the pulse of life itself. The same force that moves the tides, grows the trees, and keeps your heart beating without you even asking. That force is creation, and you are a part of it. Most people think success or manifestation happens through effort, but effort without awareness only creates exhaustion. Silence is awareness. It brings you back to the present moment, where all creation begins. In silence, you realize you don't need to chase what you desire. You only need to become the energy of it. Silence tunes your vibration to match what you seek. It's the sacred pause that realigns your life with purpose. Think about the most beautiful moments in your life. The sunrise that stopped you in your tracks, the deep breath before something miraculous happened. Those moments were quiet, weren't they? Because silence has its own power. It holds answers that words can't describe. In silence, ideas are born, healing begins, and manifestation flows effortlessly. You start to notice that you don't have to force things anymore. You begin to trust that everything is unfolding just as it should. The universe doesn't respond to noise, it responds to energy. And silence is the highest frequency of all, because it is pure presence. When you quiet your mind, you stop interrupting your blessings. You stop resisting. You stop doubting. You begin to allow. You open yourself to the natural flow of abundance that's been trying to reach you all along. Every great transformation begins in silence. Every dream, every vision, every miracle begins in stillness before it becomes visible. Silence is the seedbed of manifestation. And the more you honor it, the fa. Stir life begins to work for you, not against you. Because when you stop talking about what you want and start feeling what you are, everything changes. So learn to sit in your own silence, not to escape the world, but to connect with something greater than the world. The noise of life will always be there, but within you exists a sacred space untouched by chaos. That space is your power, that space is your truth. And when you begin to live from that stillness, you stop chasing things, they start finding you. Silence doesn't take you away from life, it draws you deeper into it. It sharpens your awareness, opens your intuition, and allows you to hear what the universe has been trying to tell you all along. You are already enough. You already have everything you need. All you have to do is be still and let it come naturally. Look around the world today and you'll notice something. Everyone is talking, but no one is truly listening. We live in an age of constant motion, scrolling, posting, reacting, comparing. People mistake noise for connection and movement for meaning. But the louder the world becomes, the harder it is to hear your own truth. The noise doesn't just surround us, it seeps into our minds, shaping our thoughts, hijacking our emotions, and keeping us from the stillness where creation begins. The great illusion is that more activity equals more progress. But have you noticed how even with all this movement, people feel more lost, more anxious, more unfulfilled than ever? Because noise is not energy, it's interference. The universe doesn't speak in volume, it speaks in vibration. And the higher your inner peace, the clearer your connection to that vibration becomes. When your life is filled with noise, opinions of others, fear of failure, endless comparison, you block your own channel to the divine. You can't manifest when you're drowning in distraction. Manifestation is not about chasing, it's about allowing. It's not about speaking more affirmations, it's about believing the few that truly resonate in your heart. The truth is, most of us are addicted to noise because silence forces us to face ourselves. It's easier to fill the air than to feel our own uncertainty. But silence reveals who we really are. It strips away illusion and brings us face to face with truth. And though that truth can be uncomfortable at first, it's also the gateway to freedom. T. The moment you step away from noise, you begin to hear something real. You begin to notice the quiet confidence of your intuition, the subtle guidance of your inner knowing. You start recognizing synchronicities, opportunities, and signs that were always there, but you were too distracted to see them. The world hasn't changed. You have changed because you've tuned in instead of tuned out. Noise is what keeps people in cycles of worry, of comparison, of lack. It tells you that you must keep doing more, achieving more, proving more. But silence tells you something completely different. It whispers, you are already aligned. You don't have to chase what is meant for you. When you stop trying to control everything, life begins to flow naturally. There's a sacred power in walking away from noise, not in anger, not in ego, but in peace. You stop needing validation. You stop reacting. You start responding from wisdom, not emotion. That's when your energy becomes magnetic. That's when manifestation becomes effortless. Because when your mind quiets, the universe finally has room to speak, and what it tells you is simple yet profound. Everything you've been seeking is already seeking you. Silence is not just peace, it's power. It's the birthplace of every idea, every vision, and every miracle that has ever come to life. When you step into silence, you don't withdraw from creation, you align with it, because manifestation is not about forcing reality to bend to your will. It's about synchronizing your inner vibration with the energy of what you desire. Silence is the bridge between your thoughts and the universe's response. Every thought you think carries a frequency, a vibration that either draws your desires closer or pushes them away. But in the chaos of noise, your frequency wavers. You start sending mixed signals to the universe. One moment you're confident, the next you're doubtful. That's why silence matters so much. It brings stability to your energy. It grounds you in clarity, reminding you that manifestation isn't about doing more, it's about being more aligned. When you enter silence intentionally, your mind stops competing with your heart. The chatter quiets, the worry softens, and suddenly your intuition, that gentle inner compass, becomes louder. You begin to sense what feels right, what feels wrong, and what is waiting for you. You simply trust. Silence is not empty, it's full of messages, guidance, and divine timing. It's where the universe downloads direction into your consciousness. Consider how nature manifests effortlessly. The ocean doesn't force its waves. The tree doesn't strain to grow. They exist in alignment with what they are meant to be. You too are part of that same intelligence. The universe is always manifesting through you, but you can only cooperate with it when you are still enough to listen. Silence lets you move from ego to essence, from I must make this happen to I am allowing this to unfold. When you are silent, you connect to the field of infinite possibility. You begin to sense that everything is energy, and everything you desire already exists in that energetic realm. The key is not to speak it louder, but to feel it deeper. The moment you truly feel it, without doubt, without resistance, you activate it. That feeling, that alignment, is what draws it into your life. Silence teaches you that manifestation isn't a future event. It's a present awareness. The life you want doesn't come later. It exists now, in vibration, waiting for you to match it. Every second you spend in silence is a moment of alignment, a moment when your desires stop being distant dreams and start becoming energetic truths. So use silence as your daily practice, not to escape the world, but to co-create with it consciously. Sit with your thoughts, but don't chase them. Sit with your breath and let it remind you how naturally things flow when you stop forcing them. This is where manifestation begins, not in effort, but in awareness. The more silent you become, the more clearly you hear your purpose. The more still you are, the faster your desires find their way to you. Because the universe does not respond to noise, it responds to energy. And silence, pure conscious silence, is the highest vibration you can offer. There's a sacred rhythm to life, A flow that doesn't rush, doesn't compete, and doesn't worry. It simply is. The same intelligence that moves the stars in perfect order, that changes the seasons without struggle, is the same intelligence that moves through you. When you learn to trust that flow, you stop trying to control life and you start allowing it to unfold naturally. Trust is the extension of silence. Once you have quieted your mind, you begin to see that everything is already working in your favor, even when you can't yet see the results. You stop pushing, stop begging, stop questioning when and how. You begin to trust that the timing of your life is divinely orchestrated, that what is meant for you cannot miss you, and what is not meant for you cannot stay. Most people fail in manifestation not because they don't believe, but because they don't trust. They want immediate proof, instant signs, quick rewards. But manifestation doesn't work on impatience, it flows through faith. The universe doesn't respond to desperation, it responds to surrender. When you trust, you release resistance. And that's when everything you've been asking for begins to move toward you. Think of a river. The water doesn't strain to reach the ocean. It flows naturally because it knows exactly where it's going. You are no different. When you let go of control, you align with that same current. And once you're in that current, life becomes effortless. Opportunities show up. The right people appear. Things that once felt impossible begin to happen as if by magic. But it's not magic, it's alignment. Silence. You build that trust, because in silence, you learn that there is an intelligence greater than your plans. You feel it when you breathe, when you watch nature, when you let your heart lead instead of your fear. That quiet knowing that says, it's okay. You're exactly where you need to be. That's the voice of the universe, the same one that speaks through silence, through signs, through synchronicities. The more you trust this flow, the less you chase. You stop needing everything right now, and that's precisely when things start arriving. You start manifesting from peace, not pressure, from surrender, not struggle. You realize that what is meant for you doesn't require anxiety, it requires alignment. Faith is not blind hope, it's inner knowing. It's the calm confidence that says, even if I can't see it yet, it's already on its way. That kind of faith magnetizes everything you've ever desired. It moves mountains without you lifting a finger because it vibrates at the frequency of certainty. So stop asking, when will it happen? And start saying, I trust that it's already happening. The universe is never late, it's always precise. And when you align yourself with that divine precision through silence and trust, life begins to flow as it was always meant to, naturally, beautifully, effortlessly. Everything you desire is already seeking you. All it requires is your stillness, your trust, and your willingness to let it come in its own perfect time. Silence is not just a state of mind, it's a daily discipline, a sacred ritual that allows you to return to your power. It's one thing to understand silence, but another to live it. And the truth is, silence must become a practice before it becomes your nature. The more you integrate it into your life, the more effortlessly everything begins to flow toward you. The first step is simple. Create moments of conscious stillness every day. Begin your mornings in silence before the world begins to pull at your energy. No phone, no music, just your breath and your awareness. This is not about meditating perfectly. It's about remembering who you are before the noise begins. In those few quiet minutes, your energy resets, your vibration aligns. You open yourself to receive. Second, learn to disconnect from judgment. Silence isn't only about outer quiet, it's about inner quiet. You must silence the need to judge yourself, to compare, to question your worth. When you let go of judgment, your energy expands. The universe matches that expansion with opportunities, ideas, and synchronicities that mirror your new state of peace. Remember, judgment lowers your vibration, silence raises it. The third step is gratitude and stillness. Gratitude turns silence into connection. Sit in quiet and think of 3 things that already exist in your life that you're thankful for. Feel that appreciation as deeply as you can. Gratitude is the language of alignment. It tells the universe, I already have enough and I am ready for more. When your silence is filled with gratitude instead of lack, manifestation accelerates. Next, replace reaction with reflection. Every time you feel the urge to argue, prove, or explain, pause. Step into silence. Respond from clarity, not emotion. Silence gives you space to choose wisdom over impulse. It's not weakness to remain quiet, it's mastery. In silence, you stop feeding negativity and start feeding peace. The more peaceful you become, the more magnetic you grow. Fifth, listen to your inner guidance. In silence, your intuition becomes L. Outer, that gentle nudge, that sudden clarity, that inner pull, that's your soul speaking. It doesn't shout, it whispers. And when you begin to follow those whispers, you start walking in divine alignment. You'll notice how life begins to arrange itself for your highest good without struggle or confusion. Finally, trust the results even when you can't see them yet. After your moments of silence, don't rush back into the noise looking for signs. Let life breathe. Let your energy settle. Manifestation happens in the unseen first, in vibration, before it shows up in the physical. Keep practicing silence daily, not as a task, but as a way of being. The more consistent you are, the faster you'll notice the shift. You'll stop chasing what you want, and it will start chasing you. Because silence doesn't mean doing nothing. It means doing everything from a state of alignment. It means your thoughts, emotions, and energy are finally in harmony. That is when the universe begins to respond to you clearly, cleanly, and consistently. That's when everything starts coming, naturally. There is a quiet strength. T. Hat lives inside those who have mastered silence. It's not loud, it's not dramatic, it's steady, centered, and unshakable. This is the energy of a true manifestor, someone who doesn't chase, doesn't beg, doesn't panic, someone who simply knows. The calm power that radiates from silence is the greatest magnetic force you can ever cultivate. When you operate from calmness, your energy becomes clear. The universe no longer has to guess what you want. Your vibration declares it for you. You begin to attract situations that reflect your peace, people who respect your energy, and opportunities that feel divinely timed. Calmness is not passivity, it's precision. It means you have mastered your internal world so completely that the external world naturally aligns with it. Remember this truth: silence is not about avoiding the world. It's about becoming the kind of person who no longer needs to control it. You stop fighting reality and start flowing with it. You realize that what's meant for you will never pass you by, and what leaves was never meant to stay. From this space, you no longer live in fear or frustration. You live in faith and flow. Calm manifestors don't demand, they allow. They don't shout their goals to the world. They become the energy of those goals quietly, and life responds. This kind of silence is not empty, it's full of certainty. It carries a presence so strong that people feel it even when you say nothing. That's the energy of true power, effortless attraction. Let this truth sink deep. Silence is not weakness, it's wisdom expressed through stillness. The people who make the most noise often lack direction, but those who master silence become unstoppable, because silence is where self-belief matures. It's where the mind bows to the soul. It's where you stop asking, will this happen? And start affirming it's already done. As you move through life, carry this energy with you. Let your calmness speak louder than your words. Let your patience become your strategy. Let your peace become your identity. Every silent, aligned thought you have sends a ripple through the universe, calling your blessings home. You don't need to prove anything to anyone. Your energy is already proof of who you are becoming. So from this day forward, live as the calm manifestor. Silent, certain, magnetic. Don't chase, don't force, don't fight. Simply trust, align, and allow. Because everything you desire, the peace, the love, the abundance, is already making its way to you. Stay silent, stay aligned, and let everything come naturally. That is the way of true manifestation. That is the way of divine creation. And that is the power you've always had, waiting in the silence to be remembered.